Asus ROG 2 full review. So I've been using the phone as my daily driver for a couple of weeks now, so almost 2 weeks, and I wanted to share what I think about the phone. So let's start out with just the specs so far. So here's a quick recap of the specs for this ROG 2 phone. So this is actually the Tencent version. So it's running the Snapdragon 855 Plus. So it's actually running at 2.96 gigahertz over the standard 2.84 on the normal 855. And this Tencent version has 8 gig RAM and 128 gig of storage. The screen is at 6.59 inch AMOLED, and it's at 120 hertz. So I'll put up the specs sheet over here. So just no need to discuss it, just have a quick look. Alright, so it does have a headphone jack, so can't be a gaming phone without the headphone jack. Unfortunately, the Black Shark 2 Pro doesn't have one, but the Red Magic 3 has. So don't know if you recognize the phones, they're all on cases. So this is the Red Magic 3, the ROG 2 phone here, and the Black Shark 2 Pro over there. So just a couple of key features on the ROG 2 phone. So it does have the in-display fingerprint sensor. So if you can see here, it's pretty fast. I've already installed a tempered glass on it. So it's a clear tempered glass, not the one with the black borders around it. And if you can see, it has a lot of my apps already installed. So probably using around 70% of the storage. So that's one of the limitations if you're gonna get the 128 gig. But I'll share some more thoughts on that. So for pricing, for the Tencent version at 8 gig and 128, so you'd expect this to come around $509, and for the 12 gig and 512 storage will be coming around to 873. So the global version, when it comes out, it should be around $900 because that's the same price that the ROG one came out on. So release date will be around September 5, guys. So I just probably see if I can get my hands on the global version once it comes out. So this also shared just a couple of key things that I did see floating around on the internet. So it does have 4 Wi-Fi antennas. So based on my gaming sessions, I didn't experience any drop. This also shared just a couple of key things that I did see floating around on the internet. So it does have 4 Wi-Fi antennas. So based on my gaming sessions, I didn't experience any drops or any lag when the Wi-Fi signal kept at a stable. Yeah, it was stable all throughout my gameplay. So there were no drop signals. So all good. So one thing to note for the camera as well, so I guess I'll discuss that once I get to the camera part. So for the accessories, it does have a couple, though I haven't gotten my hands on most of them yet. So here are these are the accessories. Let's put it up on screen for you guys. Alright, so you got the air active cooler. So basically this is your cooling fan that you install at the back. The aero case, so that's the one that shows the ROG logo on the back. So actually the aero active cooler and the aero case comes for free on the global ROM. So that's on the 512 gig, but on the Tencent edition it only comes with the free clear case. So another accessory that we have is a thin view dock. It's a device with another display on the top. So basically it looks like you've got 2 phones, and it also has a 5000 mAh battery to power it. Then this is the most talked about accessory for the phones, the ROG Kunai gamepad. So basically the setup controllers that you can turn the phone into something like a Nintendo Switch. So there's a left and right controller. So you basically just slide it into the case and it becomes a gaming phone. We've also got the mobile desktop dock, so you can connect your phone to a separate monitor, so something like the Samsung DeX. And you've got the Pro dock. So this one has a lot of input and output on it, like USB ports. You've got the LAN connection as well. And we've got something, the wide gig display dock plus. So basically you can stream your device to a TV or a monitor. And we've got the ROG lighting armor case. So it's a bit special case, you know, it lights up on the back, uses NFC, you can change your wallpaper. So similar to the Marvel cases you've got for the Samsung phones. So let's try to see if I can get more details on this one. So probably be targeting getting the Aeroactive cooler and the Aero case. So I'll be doing a more gaming test on this phone. Right. So basically, let's start off with the design and build quality. So the ROG2 is advertised as a gaming phone, and it's actually designed as a testament to that. So there are a lot of sharp, edgy designs, so if you can see. So it's not like what you get on Samsung, where it's more ergonomic. So you've got curved edges. So this is more edgy, so more gaming, so more for gamers. So definitely looks like a gaming phone, but personally, out of the three phones, the Black Shark 2 Pro, the ROG, and the Red Magic 3, I like this design the best. And actually, this ROG logo, let's turn it on. Right, see, you can see it does really look good. It's actually, the logo is bigger than what you've got on the Red Magic 3. That LED for that logo is pretty small, as well as for the Black Shark 2 Pro. So let's just turn on the screen on this so you can see. Yeah, it's more eye-catching for the ROG too. So actually, with during my day-to-day use with ROG, never fails to get people's attention. I was asked numerous times by random people on the street, asking me what phone I was using. So it's not a very well known phone. It's not the likes of Samsung and Huawei, where everyone knows what kind of phone it is. So I had to explain to them it's an Asus. So they know what an Asus phone is. So when they say Asus, they think, oh, it's a Sun phone, but it's not. It's a gaming phone, right? So build quality is pretty solid, though I don't think the glass back is actually glass. So I did see on a couple of websites that the Tencent version didn't have a glass back. I don't know if you can hear that, but that definitely doesn't sound like glass. So it looks like glass, feels like glass, though there is a bit of flex to it when I'm tapping it. So it definitely sounds like plastic when you tap it. Doesn't sound like glass. So I know glass phones. I've got the OnePlus 6 and a couple of Samsung phones. Those all have glass backs. They don't sound like that. Right? So I think a more accurate description to this, it's glass-stick. So if you've seen any of the new Samsung phones, so like the A10 to the A30, A50, so it's what people are calling glass-stick back. So it's basically, it's plastic that looks like glass. So I don't know who made up that that word glass-stick. Anyway, on to the build and design of the phone. So what, I don't know, you all know it's a big phone. It's a tall phone as well. So putting it in my front jeans pocket, it's actually pretty hard when you're sitting down. It makes me think that it might break, or it might bend in my pocket. But so far, build quality has been pretty good. So if you all also watch Jerry Rig, so he did do durability tests on the ROG2, but I know the one that he did it on was the global version. So that one is definitely had the glass back. So not sure if the Tencent version will be as durable as that one, but so far this one has held up on daily use. Alright, so let's move on to the software. It's running the ROG launcher, so it is almost like pretty much feels like stock Android. So this is, as you all know, this is a Chinese Tencent version. So initially I had trouble with the messaging app. So you can see here, I've actually removed the messaging app as my default. So I set the Google Messages as default. This one, for some reason, it kept putting my messages into notices. I don't know if you can see that. So there's a notices um, section there, so all my messages end up going there. So I miss a couple of SMS. So depends on where you're from, but in the Philippines, SMS is still a big thing. So a lot of people still use it rather than calling, right? So and also the keyboard had trouble. So if you remember the unboxing I did, was I tried to set up the keyboard, but it kept defaulting to Chinese, so it was autocorrecting to Chinese characters. So I installed Gboard, and that actually solved the problem. So, but for Gboard, one thing that you have to take note is to install it, you can't sideload it via an APK. So you actually have to go to the App Store and then search for Gboard. All right. So one thing that will be good to hear is that this phone actually has the Google framework already installed. So if you're planning to import this Tencent edition, it already has it. So getting Play Store into the phone is pretty simple. You just have to search for the Play Store. So let's see if I can search for that. See, searching for Play on the Asus App Store brings you to the Google Play Store. So doesn't have the install option here since it's already installed, but it's basically you just need to install this Play Store and then you're good to go. So you can use it as normal. So if you can see your Play Store works normally. Oh, if you notice there's a Novo launcher there. So I'll discuss that in a bit. But for those who like themes, you're actually out of luck. This phone doesn't have that many themes pre-installed. So let's go to the settings. Okay, theme. Right, at the cutaway, was trying to look for the themes, and this is it. So you've only got the dark reactor core and the light luminous core. So let's try to set that as the default so you can all see what it looks like. Cue music, and it's a lighter theme. Didn't really like it that much, so I'll put it back. Yeah, it's basically the light theme versus the dark theme that you're using. So let's get it back. Just clear all. So it's actually one thing that I did notice is you can go to the themes by default using the settings. So if you see, I was trying to search for it on settings, I couldn't find it. You actually have to go to preferences, then go to home screen. I don't know if you all can see this. So it is hard to navigate this using one hand. So let's go there. So let's go back so you all know where it is. So home screen and then theme. Let's put it back to the dark. Alright, so we're back. So as you all know, you've got the X mode, so you can activate that by squeezing and holding. Have to squeeze it longer, and there's your X mode. So this is a cumbersome way of actually activating it. So there's an easier way. You just have to scroll down, and then there's the X mode over there. Turn it off. But if you guys don't want to do that, you can squeeze and hold. Turn it on, squeeze and hold, turn it off. Alright, so a couple of you might be thinking, why not use a different launcher if you don't like the ROG launcher? Well, I did try that. I downloaded Novo launcher. See, it downloads fine, it installs fine, and then you can see you can use it. It's already on the Novo launcher. And I just turn off Wi-Fi so I can just disable the notifications for now. So see, you've got Novo launcher. So looks to be working fine, but when you press the home button, brings you back to the ROG launcher. So there is no way right now to change the default launcher. It doesn't give you that option. So if you go down to settings and then look for default, yeah, see default apps, doesn't let you change the launcher or the launcher, yeah, basically. So you're stuck with the ROG launcher. So you're out of luck if you want to use a different launcher on this phone. All right. So I've read that the global version supposedly lets you change between the Zen UI and the ROG launcher when you're first setting up the phone. But for this Tencent version, I didn't have that option. So when I set it up, initially just didn't give me an option. So I get stuck with the ROG launcher. Right, and for the camera. So out of the three gaming phones, actually the ROG 2 easily wins in the camera department. Daytime shots are crisp, plenty of details, and night shots are decent, though there are better phones out there that do a better job. So, namely the Huawei phones. So, yeah, but those are in a different league. So even the Samsung phones have a hard time doing night shots similar to the Huawei phones. So video is also another aspect where the phone surprised me. Though it doesn't have optical image stabilization, the videos came out stable. Here are the couple of sample photos and videos for you. Pop it up on the screen. Alright, so now to the part you've all been waiting for. It's a gaming phone, so can it game? The answer to that is a resounding yes. So the 120 Hz display is a game changer. So it's hard to unsee it once you've gotten used to it. So if you use the ROG phone or ROG phone as your daily driver, and then you go back to something using the 60 Hz, so something like the Black Shark 2 Pro or any other phone out there, so the Samsung and iPhones. So you're gonna notice a difference. So everything lower than 120 Hz seems slow to me now. So, and another thing, the shoulder buttons make playing games like PUBG, Fortnite. It makes it it makes it a blast. So I honestly think it gives you an edge as your fingers aren't blocking the sensors, the screen. Sorry, during intense firefight. So you've got so you're pressing on here, so you don't have to press on the screen. So you see more action on the screen. Right, so one thing I did notice during gaming for extended sessions is that the phone did get warm, but not uncomfortably so. So it's not uncomfortable to the touch, since it did boast that it had the triple layer cooling that has the vents at the back and vapor cooling. So I was expecting more, but I guess it is what it is. That's why they sell the air active cooler. So putting that cooler supposedly lowers the temperature by a couple of degrees, but I don't have that accessory yet, so I won't be able to test it. So I'll do some more tests once I do get my hands on it. So, but as for the frame rates during gaming sessions, it's pretty stable. I didn't see any drop frames, especially during my marathon sessions with PUBG. So I've been using PUBG as my primary draining test. So I'm actually working on that video now, so stay tuned. So once I've uploaded it, and that 6,000 milliampere battery is a beast. I've just concluded the drain test, and this was actually a very heavy gaming session drain test. So the results were very good, though there is one phone in that drain test that will surprise you guys. So stay tuned to that video. So I guess the last question everyone's asking, should I buy the ROG 2 phone? So you all know I've been reviewing gaming phones. So I've got the Black Shark 2 Pro here, and then the ROG, and then the Red Magic 3. So should I buy the ROG over these two phones? And my answer is it depends on your budget. So if you're on a budget and can't afford the ROG 2 phone, I'd suggest going for the Red Magic 3. It has almost the same screen size. It is a bit bigger, and it has a 90 hertz refresh rate. Not as fast as the 120 hertz, though in day-to-day use you won't actually notice the difference. So for the Black Shark 2 Pro, it's still running the 60 hertz. Screen is smaller, and the battery is actually smaller as well. And if you notice here, fingerprint sensor is hit and miss. Let me just put my pen in. All right. So if you'll notice from day-to-day use, there is a difference between the 60 hertz and 120 hertz. Screen size is also very small compared to it. So for video watching, for gaming, this is actually a better option. But if you do have extra cash to spend, I'd suggest going for the ROG phone. The Black Shark 2 Pro is almost at the same price range, but you get more out of the ROG 2 phone from a gaming perspective. So it seems more polished than the Black Shark 2 Pro. So here in the Philippines, you can get this one for almost $100 cheaper than the ROG 2 phone. So if you're gaming on a budget, yeah, go for the Red Magic 3. But if not, then the ROG 2 phone is a good buy. Now, should I get the Tencent version over the global version? I don't have the global version with me yet, but based on initial impression, I'd suggest going for the Tencent version. Not only is it cheaper, but you get almost the same experience. So you do get more storage on that one. So I believe it's gonna come out with a 512 gig out of the box as a base. So you can't actually extend the memory on this one. There is no micro SD slot, so you're limited to that 128. But from a gaming perspective, you don't miss out on much. You've got all the options that the global version has. You've got the shoulder buttons. You've got the same accessories that you can use for it. So basically, for half the price, you're getting the same experience, minus probably the glass back that I mentioned. This looks to be plastic. So, but will that make a difference? It's up to you. But for me, I'd rather spend less on the phone and then use that money I save and buy accessories for it, rather than going for the more expensive one and then spend more on accessories just to get the same gaming experience. So with that, those are my thoughts. So leave your comments down below, like and subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and see you all on the next video.